mean, like second time in Houston in 3 months, right?
Yeah,
but this is the first one where you're, a partner. You got this new partnership with the Toyota Center. So what does that mean for MMA here in Houston?
It's big. Obviously, I think the economic impact on the city the last time we were here was massive, and they want us to come more. And you don't have to twist my arm to come to Houston. I love it here.
So what are we talking about? Like annual events here? Is it like that kind of partnership?
Yeah, I mean, well, what we're going to do is try to get here as many times as we can. Listen, this madness keeps going on in this country, man. We might be, Texas, Florida, Abu Dhabi, Texas, Florida, Abu Dhabi. We'll see.
Talk about
a year and a half ago, I didn't see anything coming. I'm ready for anything now. I don't care what happens.
Seems like there's no panic at all.
I have no panic. Whatever happens, I'll deal with it.
Nice. Talk about this interim title. I know you don't care what the feedback was, but I just want to know how you look at interim titles. Like, do you look at an interim title as like last resort kind of thing, or do you think, hey, maybe we could see more of this?
This interim title is awesome. You have a guy who's undefeated and a guy who beat the champion. It doesn't. You have the two best heavyweights in the world for sure, fighting for the title. And what happens is when they fight Francis, it's like the old days of the IBF versus the WBC champion, and you unify the belt. That's exactly how I look at it.
And I was going to ask you, I mean, do you see any scenario where that's not the next fight, where like maybe these guys fight somebody else, or do you feel like the unification happens
unless
next?
Something crazy happens, I can't see it happening, but the next one should be Francis and Ngannou.
How's your relationship with Francis now? I know he wasn't initially happy about how this all played out. Have you guys talked and
listen, Francis and I are whatever we are. I was all Francis, and we had a little issue after before the first Stipe fight, and we've been what we are ever since. I don't dislike Francis. We'll get it done. Try to make him happy and see what we can do.
Will it be a priority to get that done quickly, you think, as fast as you can?
Yeah. We'll want to get it done as soon as possible.
I think like a dream world, if Cyril were to happen to win, Cyril Ngannou in Paris, the French connection, is that even something that you can even think about right now when you talk about the way the world is?
I don't know. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, you know what I mean? So who knows what the next 3 weeks is going to bring. You might see Francis and Cyril on Fight Island, who knows? So we'll see.
Nice. John Jones, Stipe Miocic, that kind of leaves them on hold for a little bit, right? I know there was some mention that maybe that's a fight that could happen. Has there been any progress on those two guys fighting?
Listen, John's talking about fighting next year, so what this does is it gives us, a year of great fights in the heavyweight division.
Yeah. Obviously, you were on vacation last week, but I did want to ask you about a couple things last week. Sean Strickland, guy's kind of emerging, a great career record at this point. What do you think of his performance? Is this kind of a new contender in the division?
Yeah, no, he looked great. That kid's mean, nasty, and what I would consider like a real fighter. Like, this guy is a nasty dude.
He did kind of make some nasty comments afterwards. I don't know if you were alerted of that, but he said he would enjoy killing somebody in the ring. Did that make it on your radar? And is that, I know you say you don't tell people what to say, but is that one where you might step in and say?
That didn't get on my radar, and nobody wants to hear somebody say that. You know what I mean? That's not.
Don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Don't hear that. There was some progress. Him and Luke Rockhold. Does that look like that's going to be the next fight?
Yeah, that's the fight.
Is it done?
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did we announce that? Yeah, we did.
Okay, fantastic. I did want to ask you about Cheyenne Bays as well. She looked amazing with that incredible knockout, but everybody's stuck on her comments afterwards about how she was broke. What do you think when you hear fighters say that? I mean, do you feel like this is a terrible look for the UFC? Or, I mean, what does it make you think when you hear that?
There's a lot of people that are on their way up. She's on her way up that are broke, struggling, trying to make it. And but I'd say the flip side to that is she's 1-1 in the UFC, and she's made, what, 80 grand in the last 6 months?
Not a bad start to get out of negative.
No. Listen, you got to go out. This is one of those sports you got to win. If you win, everything's good. If you lose, everything's bad. That's the nature of this beast.
I do want to ask you real quickly about Madison Square Garden. You mentioned like how things are changing rapidly. They instituted that vaccination thing. Is that off the table now? Do you think that fight can't happen at all?
As far as we know, we heard from MSG yesterday. We're good. We're good to go, and we should be able to get this done.
You mentioned Abu Dhabi. I guess the relationship there is so solid. I mean, that's going to happen in October as well.
Yeah, I've been solid with Abu Dhabi for almost 15 years, and will be for the next 500 years. When I leave here, I'm going to Wyoming or Montana on a motorcycle trip I'm riding all through those 2 states, and then when I get back, I'm going to Abu Dhabi to hopefully get these deals done that I'm working on right now, and I'm excited to announce them. So hopefully I can get this stuff done within the next month.
Awesome. Last one, I guess, if anybody's on the fence, UFC 265 this weekend, what's the pitch? Why should they make sure they're tuned in this weekend?
Well, I mean, I couldn't find a better heavyweight matchup than this for the title in one of the guys' hometowns in Houston, where we just had the ridiculous, event that we had 3 months ago. Whether you get here live or you watch it on TV, this weekend's going to be badass. And I love the Luque Chiesa fight too. I think that's going to be a fun fight. Pedro Munoz versus Jose Aldo. I mean, the girls went at it up there today on stage. This should be a fun night.